Toycat, and I keep my forever long-term survival world on a realm, which is currently loading, and this is going to be a live stream where I play from my region of southern England for about 2 hours while working on one of the big and kind of intense builds in my world. There's going to be a lot of things we do along the way. It's going to be a fun time to hang out and to chat, and if that sounds fun, then okay. And if it doesn't, well then let's quickly jump out of this. You know, actually, yeah, I want to like vibrant visuals chat, but whenever it gets to nighttime, I'm like, yeah, let's call that a wrap for this one. And so back into Fancy we must go. And while we're in Fancy, I want to talk about how it's literally 2 days till the Mounts of Mayhem comes out now, chat. I am actually excited. This is my Update Adventures Let's Play, and genuinely the whole thing has always been like, I am excited for updates. I like them. I feel like they add more fun to Minecraft when you got new stuff to do, new creativity options open up. Anyway, oh, actually, I've got an important thing I need to do. I need to put these pufferfish in a chest over here. I have an idea for something I might do if we end up finishing the Manga Cube and want to make some extra progress. And it's going to be like right over here somewhere. So in goes the pufferfish. Rotten flesh goes on the ground, and I'll put in the raw cod too. But let's go out over to the Manga Cube and get things moving. So yeah, I imagine using cubes in a cube game. I mean, honestly, you say that, KMB. There was a real period of snobbishness from builders being like, why aren't you using upside down stairs everywhere? That's the whole point of Minecraft, is using the blocks that look the least like blocks. And it's like, okay, maybe to you. I like that it's a block game. I think there's a beauty to it personally. But I also think that like it's natural, I guess, that if you do anything for long enough, you start looking for weird ways to do it. And you play the block building game for long enough, and the only way you can have fun is by not building with blocks. It's you know, it's like it's the classic drug addict problem, right? Like Minecraft is my favorite drug. But it's like, yeah, you start taking more and more Minecraft, and now you can't take the regular size Minecraft. You gotta take an abnormal amount of Minecraft to get that usual high from before. And so you gotta be building with stone stairs and walls and lodestones. You gotta be going crazy just to get that same feeling that you used to be able to get for free. Anyway, with that said, let's grab 2 shulker boxes full of stone today. I think that should be enough if we also grab some of this. And thankfully we got a real nice amount of stone used. I think this was a good... I think we've taken our stone levels down to much more manageable levels via this project. And yeah, you should release your old Minecraft flat world on the marketplace. That's a really interesting idea, Justin Gillespie. If that ever happens, you can feel like that comment was the reason for it. So yeah, what's the next add-on going to be? Also, are you going to make a Steve skin with an Ocelot hand, says Gary7? Worst part of VV is the auto exposure, I think. Yeah, there's a few rough parts of it. I recorded the update video today, by the way, KMB. Very excited about that one. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Also, when are you gonna make a Steve skin that has an ocelot hand? That is actually, I think that's such a stupid but also perfect idea. No, as far as the next add-on goes, though, yeah, I did take a step back after Toycat's Toolkit. It was profitable. We could have just made one like that forever and, you know, like, made a little bit here or there. But I wanted to take a step back and be like, what would be an add-on that would add, you know, because it's actually quite a tricky thing to, like, work out what would add to my life, because those are the things I can best, you know, I want to actually find things that would be useful to me, because then I know it would be useful to other people too. It's quite tricky to design for an audience you can't relate to. I think this is one of the interesting things about why I don't make videos for children, at least explicitly. You could argue that, like, you know, like by making gaming videos, you know, you can make some argument like that. So I'm not going to try and argue I'm immune from it, even though it's not my intent. But instead I would make the point that, like, yeah, so we're going to have to make a whole bottom row now, except with holes. So holes and holes and holes is where we're going with this. So this is my Manga Cube. This is what we're working on today. I'm looking forward to finishing it. It's just a really fun project, and so I think it'll be great. Yeah, we don't have to fill out the missing persons report. Do you want to, you know, actually, chat? Do you want me to be? I sometimes worry. It's like some people really do not like honesty. If you ask, do you want me to be honest? They say yes, but maybe they don't actually like it. I'll be honest, chat. I had a really good day yesterday. I've been mentioning that I have been taking SAS days during Streamless. It's my one day off where I go and socialize or do, you know, like life tasks that need to be done. I think trying to pretend you have a life that doesn't have those eventually like crashes for me. Maybe just me. Maybe that's how that is. But yesterday I went out for a run. That's what I do every Saturday. I try to at least. I went out for my run. Run went pretty well. Thank you for asking. After that, I then went out for a friend's birthday. We did an escape room. It was a lot of fun. I sucked so hard. And then, like, just after a bit, it started to click. And it started going really well. I was, like, solving problems left and right. I was like, okay, there's numbers. Numbers got to be sequential. Maybe they're going to be... It was fun. It was good. Then, there's, like, a few really tricky puzzles where generally I like whenever I solve stuff in an escape room, I'm like, how did that ever get done? Then I had my favorite food place chat. And then I had another friend who was like, oh, we've just come back from a separate birthday party. Do you want to come meet us at the casino? And, after the conversation that we had about gambling, I couldn't resist at least a little cheeky pull there. I have a lot of friends who generally just like to go there because it's like a relatively affordable place to, drink and exist and... I guess because they're trying to get you to just want to enjoy eating and existing there so that you'll gamble. Anyway, I will say as a person who's bought stuff in the marketplace, I've never played a single add-on, so it's just not the type of content for me. Yeah, KMB, that is the problem I am trying to solve. I think that add-ons are not for most people, and with good reason, and and they're not for me in most cases. So I've been trying to crack the nut of what would be good for me. I still like boss blitz to this day as like a way to add additional difficulty. I think that's a sweet spot. I think that or like RPG mechanics are what really hit me there. Anyway, so yeah, I had a really basically I celebrated multiple times yesterday, chat. Once for a big run, once for someone's birthday, and then another time, meeting friends I hadn't in a while. And so I woke up I went to sleep at about 3 a.m. and I woke up at about 10, feeling very dead and maybe a little dehydrated, chat. Speaking of dehydrated, I have a drink my drinks advent calendar has got me a grapefruit agave drink today. So let's go for it. Excited for this one. It's good when it comes in a tiny can, right? The proportion is what matters here. I might make the skin you talked about in the Manga Sponge Part 1 video. Yeah, I think the next time we release a world, it'd be cool to do that. And, as much as I would love to claim that the idea is from earlier in chat, I do want to release the creative world. It has a lot of, I don't want to just do it by itself. I want to make sure it's like a product with value adds and stuff. So an Ocelot skin, but it's Steve is a silly but fun idea. I think I would love to see and do that. Yeah, I have the free add-on Gravestone where it saves your items so they don't despawn. Yeah, so I think if you're not an add-on person, there are two types of add-ons that people like. One is like the utility type, but it feels like cheesy and cheating and for a lot of people is my experience. And so the second type is, it's like an add-on that makes for a fun, silly, temporary world. I think Cut the Rope was really good for making a weird survival experience. That's delightful. I'm glad you had a good day. Yeah, I was a really good day. I feel like it's really good to like I don't know, like I get really socially drained quite easily, and I definitely feel like hit that threshold. But also, it was like a certain point where I was like, wow, this is like an ultra marathon, but for socializing. I've done so many different things today, and I honestly, I think there is something cool about like pushing yourself a little further. I think this is person dependent, but I think it's cool if you push yourself a little further than you know how to, or not know how to, but if you push yourself, finding your limit is good. finding the point where you are at a comfortable level of difficulty is good. And when you succeed at a comfortable level of difficulty, that's kind of what like life is about, is finding the right challenges to succeed at in the right ways. Yeah, thank you, Dasher. It's good to see you, by the way. Hope you're doing wonderfully desert well. Do your friends know you're a YouTuber? Yeah, actually, it came up at one point. So I had a conversation that really like stuck with me. One of my friends I haven't seen in 12 years. I will overshare with you, internet, by saying it's a friend that the friend I haven't seen in 12 years is the friend who, if I've ever told the story, or if you've ever heard the story before, it's a friend who, when we were both like 16, 17, I remember it being like the longest summer. You get a long summer after your exams. And so during the long summer, because we would hang out like every weekend before that. During the long summer, they started hanging out with our friends started hanging out with a 22-year-old girl. We're like 15 at this point, I remember, and I was like, I thought this guy was weird. I will to the day I die say like, yeah, as sad as it is true that if you have especially like at that age, like there's a certain age where it stops mattering or whatever, but when you're 15, if you have a 22-year-old friend, it doesn't mean you're so cool the 22-year-old wants to hang out with you. It means the 22-year-old cannot make friends in his own age group. The weird 22-year-old threatened me, and then the guy was like, I think you should go home. And then we didn't speak for literally. We met up somewhat. We met up once between now and then, I think, maybe. But it was a really interesting thing because I met with a friend that after all that time, it was like, kind of good to like mention it and be like, yeah, funny how that is, right? I think time heals all wounds on that sort of stuff. Like even if I like try to be bitter about it, I think I can only ever be so bitter about it. Like, it's everyone makes mistakes, and especially when you're a 15-year-old. The list of mistakes I made as a 15-year-old. I slept on someone's shed once, chat. I bet that I burnt someone's bin once. I bet that person is not happy at having to request a new bin from the council, having to explain, yeah, some kids probably came in and stole it. There are some devilish things that we no doubt did, and so I don't really. But it was interesting to like have the catch up. It's possible you're behind on chat or stream has a delay. Oh yeah, that's what it is. I'm behind on chat. That makes so much more sense. As a 22-year-old, I apologize for that person. Thank you, KMB. Don't be hanging around with only 15-year-olds if you can avoid it. I mean, on the other, no, I'm not going to say on the other hand. There's a Minecraft joke in there I won't be making. To apply someone who dates someone older, like why is this 20-something dating a literal teen? Yeah, this came up again. It came up. It's such an important thing that I think, especially because the age gap relationships usually go one gender in that way. I feel like every 14-year-old girl needs to be inoculated to the idea that like, oh, he's cool. He has a car. He can drive. Wow, I can't believe he thinks that I'm special. And it's like, oh no, this man is emotionally stunted at best. If you are lucky, he's just emotionally stunted. But at worst, he is a bit of a problem. You should be cautious. Agree with that, Sarah Skin Review. Will your next build be a pyramid of pyramids? That's a fun idea. I like that. Also, what just happened there? Did you hear that? It sounded like a shulker box opened. Is Herobrine in my game? How can you not see who's in your game anymore, by the way? How do you know? Do you press back? Yeah, how do I know if I'm playing single player? I know that I am, because it's my realm and only I have the invite. But how would you know? Okay, so yeah, I met my friend from a long time ago, and it was really good, but he had a really interesting like, he was quite upfront about the fact that like, yeah, since then times have gone up, times have gone down, etc., etc. It was a good chat, was a good catch up in a lot of ways. But one of the things that he said that like kind of stuck with me was that so he's into smoking. He got into smoking as a teenager. Really got into it because he had a breakup and he was it helped him feel less sad. And then now he's really into it. Like it's a whole problem, right? Anyway, but yeah, he was so I've got this friend who's a smoker, and the reason the IBX Toy Cat thing came up is because he made we had a debate because because he's a smoker. I feel like even when you go into smoking with the best intentions, you're doing something that is basically only harmful. It's like the closest we have to very little pleasure besides fulfilling an addiction. Very high downside. Smoking is quite silly. Even if you really feel the need to smoke, you should, or nicotine, there are better ways to do it than to smoke, right? This is my anti-smoking PSA chat. Yeah, there was a really interesting conversation that we had that was, so, he has actually diagnosed ADHD, or at least he has the medicine for it. And he was like, so I sat down and I watched a 40-minute Netflix show. It was really good. I was glad I had the attention span for it. And then after the show, I was gonna get up and I was gonna go have a cigarette before I watched another episode. But instead of going out to have another cigarette, I just scrolled Instagram for an hour and a half. Now, what do you think is worse? An hour and a half of social media, or also a smoker is in the food cooking block. Funny you say that, Scoopski. I have the silliest I have the silliest thing to respond to that with. Will you be doing an all features video for Mounts of Mayhem? Yes, I will. Gonna be a lot of fun, I think. I thought you were talking about this guy. You meant stoner, but you mean like cigarette smoker? Yeah. Oh, that's a funny like. You know that you're in the wrong crowds in school when someone asks, so do you smoke? And you ask, smoke what? Anyway, yeah, it's a really interesting thing because, like, a lot of people feel that, like, yeah, social media is something I really don't want to be browsing, and yet I scroll vertical videos for a while. And so I actually came to the defense that I'm such an anti-social media person, but I spend my day living as a devil's advocate, chat, so I can only take the contrary position, especially, I think, especially on things which are not super clear-cut. I think this is just how life works better. So, after he was like, it's super negative, I gave my point that I think actually, social, as much as you can claim that, like, TikTok is the devil, or that YouTube Shorts are the devil, or that Instagram Reels are the devil, I was like, actually, we've always had trash. And we've always had trash entertainment, and we've always had like quality long form stuff coexist. Like you could watch a documentary and learn a bunch of new stuff, or you could watch EastEnders, or insert soap opera here. You could sit down and read a real decent piece of. Also, I think you're too contrarian to fight me. I'm not too contrarian, Dasher. Screw you. Anyway, my argument in response was basically like, yeah, we blame social media and we blame TikTok or Instagram or whoever else, but actually there's always been trash content out there if you want to consume it. There's always been low quality, not worth your time stuff. Because a lot of people don't care about improving or bettering or having a valuable time. Being entertained is enough. And for a lot of people, even if you value improving and bettering yourself, sometimes you do just want to be entertained. Which is the reason why, like, Keeping Up with the Kardashians has more viewers than a documentary on why carbon emissions are killing the planet, or whatever else the case may be. And so I just made the point that, like, look, an hour and a half of Instagram could be a fulfilling experience. You could learn actual real things that help you, whereas a cigarette, at best, you are shortening your life by 2 minutes in exchange for some fun. But probably at this point in your addiction, you're not even getting fun, you're just getting to feel normal again. So I made the counter case. And he said, well, look, you're making IBX Toy Cat shorts, I bet. Or he said IBX Toy Cat Reels, I think he said. It's like a very my age person thing to call them reels, even on every platform. I chuckled at that. Often, in order to really hate something, you have to know why. You have to know it really well. The critics are always the most well-informed. Yeah, you know, weirdly, Jeff Shannon, there is a type of YouTube video I want to make now because I hated it so much and I watched a bunch of them and I find them really awful. And then I was like, I want to do something weird in the format. I want to... And there is something about that if you dislike something, you can... I don't know, like I don't want to talk about it too much because it's like a long project. But I'm working on something very silly that I'm basically just making because I kept seeing videos that I felt were a little dumb, and I wanted to make them a little less dumb. But it's gonna have to have the little moments of dumb to fit the format, right? Yeah, I usually wait for your videos and updates. I don't want to be demanding. I know you put a lot of effort into them. Thank you, Molly Jershide 1966, by the way. Yeah, the update video for the Amounts of Mayhem is a good one too. It's the update is a surprisingly filled one, I would say, is what I would keep in mind. The ability of algorithms to program people on an individual level. Mass media has always programmed people, but you've always been able to assess and measure it. Now you can't assess another's experience. Yeah, but what you can, I would say, I will say, so you're very right. That's what makes it dangerous, by the way, is now entertainment doesn't even need to... Is this correct? It's probably correct. I think the thing that makes... the TikTok social media, the personalized reels that social media bring, the thing that makes those so dangerous is the fact that you can have them be so personalized to you. You know, the concept for this is called the death of the monoculture. There isn't a monoculture anymore. We all have an individualized culture, as proven by the fact that Jeff Shannon and Adam Sony and Jessup Kane and M. Doug M. We're all hanging out in the same place here, but I guarantee that most people that you go to a workplace or school or if you go to prison with people, they're not going to be talking about IBX Toy Cat videos, most of them at least. So yeah, my friend, a few of my friends do know I'm a YouTuber. It is something that I'm very like not into sharing. Like I would like there to be a distinct gap between online me and personal me. But I think that's always been my like takeaway. But I think on the other hand, it's kind of cool that like, you know, you can live your life and people can stay up to date with, you know, because you ever heard the phrase, we need to catch up? I always thought that was silly, but actually at a certain point, it's nice just to know what's happening in other people's lives. It's like one of those weird, silly cravings that humans have. And so it's nice to be able to catch up with people and be caught up with that way. Because I feel like I have a much easier time connecting with and sharing with internet, you know, like you people right here, because I know that you are here and sincere, and if you're not sincere, then I don't care. I'm not talking to you, and effectively it makes no difference. Whereas, you know, I made a big comment about, you know, like my love life, how it's gone well, etc., etc. And then I had to finish it off with a little crass comment just to make sure, like, okay, don't want to be too gay on you fellas. But like, yeah, it should be. It's important to. I think it's important to do this stuff. Also, the bifurcation between Toy Cat and Andrew. Yeah, a lot of people speak. I think it is also good on a creative level. If I distinguish Toy Cat from Andrew, then Toy Cat's allowed to be pro-genocide. Andrew's not allowed to be pro-genocide. Andrew is very anti-genocide. I'm pretty sure, by the way, we just finished it. I'm going to go around. I'm going to do a quick little check while we're up here. To the best of my knowledge, we built the Manga Cube, chat. Surprisingly fast, too. It felt like it was going to be forever. And then it wasn't. So let's go to sleep. Hope there's not a creeper on the way. Loving women is gay, am I right, boys? You get it, Dasher. You'd be a great guy. It is, rabbit holing and polarization through mic targeting are a real problem, even if the algorithm isn't doing 100% purposefully. Yeah, I think if you want me to really share my deeper level thoughts on that, though, I would say we've always been able to manipulate people via mass media. Because there are a bunch of people who aren't looking critically at the media they consume, it's always been possible to use it to spread different messages. And it's just that social... Oh, we're missing a block there, chat. Never mind, it's not finished. It's not finished. Take it back. It'd be perfect to have a Nautilus work on this, right? It'd be perfect to have one. But yeah, I think that, like, if you think about how propaganda worked, it's because we worked out how to make announcements so that people would think and feel a certain way. The number of things that our governments got away with during times of war, because it was justifiable, because it was a time of war. Oh wow, we're missing a lot of blocks on this side, huh? Okay. Chat, there could be more blocks. Fully willing to concede there might be. But as long as they're not, if they're not easily noticeable, they might as well not be there. Okay, missing blocks somewhere on the top. But yeah, are we making 26 more of these? The good news is we'd only need 19 more of these. If we did that, it would be so cool. But it's such a large undertaking. So I don't know that we will do that. Oh yeah, that is intense. Imagine what... Chat, can you imagine if we went the next layer up for this? So that this cube became one of the 20 cubes making a giant one. It would be ludicrously big. But also kind of beautiful in its own little way, right? It would be beautiful in its own way. I kind of want to start it by building the one that goes directly above this first. So go up 27 blocks and just build another cube in the sky. Because if you just have another one, then it's entirely fine, right? I could even start by building like the cube to the right there, or the left there, as a small one. And then build a cube to the right as a... You know, there's a way to do this. Build limit size, Mega Sponge. Yeah, that is a funny thing. The next level after that would hit the build limit. You wouldn't be able to go for the tier after. Do it, build it. Yeah, I've got to say, as much as I want to build it, we'll call this a nice little moment to not build it. Yeah, beautiful, chat. I love a nice little addition to my world. We need a level 3 Mega Sponge now. I've made level 4 in creative, but not survival. Yeah, it'd be really easy to then build that in creative, I think. Do one a month for 2026. Do one a month for 2026. Oh, I see what you're saying. And then I'd have to do 2 a month, one every 2 weeks. Yeah, that's a silly but fun idea. Build a pyramid out of them. Also a silly idea. We got lots of good silly ideas, chat. Yeah, one of my... Can I... So first of all, I want to show you a project, which I apparently didn't finish placing the grass for. Oh, I need some stone here too. Chat, let's do the honor. Let's place the stone in. Okay, and then let's fall down the staircase. I've got a bunch of block... Oh, I need to take that sand with me. Heck yeah. Let me show you something that I sometimes look at and I'm like, this could do a bit of a work. This is my... let's just fly down. I'll take the fool. This is my underground ancient city. I think it's delightful. It looks really good by itself. Maybe you could do a bit of filling in there and those lanterns could do a moving or something like that. Maybe I could break the lanterns down. Or, yeah, there's something I need to do there. But I think the trial chamber is like a missed opportunity that I should have worked on bigger, better, harder, stronger. Also, my turkey soup will be done around 6 NY time if anyone's hungry. Oh, turkey soup is an interesting sounding one. From my experience, make it by layers. Oh yeah, if you made the... I guess you're right that that'd be the better way. I think I wouldn't be able to comprehend... I think I already started to like lose the structure on the level I just made. So going up the next level might confuse me more. But yeah, so my trial chamber is here. It's like slightly above the layer and then goes below it, coming out over here. I feel like this trial chamber is like such a fun idea that I just really don't want to put a bunch more into. And it's a shame, because it's a cool one. Took a nap and missed the start. Good to see you, Bird for Life. How are you doing today? Adam Sony says, I think it needs 30 pink blocks. You know, actually, let's quickly... I think what would be fun. So let's go up here. I think we should go a little bit of work on our mansion, and then I want to work on a place for my new Nautiluses. Add green lanterns to the trial chamber. Yeah, that is a fun idea. If I've got 3 lantern types now, I don't just have to do 2 mixes anymore. Okay, so up here at the top with all of my beautiful pink blocks. So, yeah, I feel like this little fountain we have right here is like almost good. But it's just missing a little something. And that something is probably the extra dirt blocks here. And then whatever I need to make this connect on that way. So maybe some more endstone bricks would be good. Yeah, I think endstone bricks. Stairs coming down and around here. Or I could have it be stone before we enter. What do you reckon, chat? Stone all the way up to like there, like that? Or do endstone bricks instead? You planning on putting anything inside the sponge? No, the sponge, it is a work of art in its own right. The sponge, now it is finished, I will never look at it again. Ah, balls. Messed that one up. I'm never going to look at it again, starting now. And, yeah, life will be good. Life will be really good. So, 1 light block in the middle of each of the mangas. Yeah, I've got an air block inside of the manga cubes. Is that not enough? I hope that it's enough. So, yeah, what do you reckon? So, Canyon Berry says stone. Yeah, I think stone here could work. Endstone, though, says your local PJO fan. See, now we got conflicting opinion. Now it's impossible to know. If you're going to make a bigger cube, you should make the top grassy or mossy. For what it's worth, actually, I realize now I don't have the stone to work on a bigger cube. Yeah, I don't have enough. I would have to farm a lot of stone. So I'd have to go mining, and so it wouldn't just take me 3 times 20 hours, 60 hours or something. It would then take me the extra hours to go and get it. Chat, this is my personal growth. I can look at something cool in my world. Ah, I looked at it. Damn. Since it's a pink, it's a womansion. Do I sound like the boys? A womansion. I like that, actually. I'll store that for my next borderline homophobic boys session. So now let's grab a bunch of these. Just dig the hole a little deeper, because it's already going to be here. And then I can use the blocks from the hole to fill in the hole. No, I can't, because I can't pick these up. So I've got 2 stone bricks. I'll just put those on the ground. Pick up the dirt. I am technically making it harder to finish the thing right now. Grab a bunch more of these from all sides. And now let's fill it in, chat. This will be a confusing area when anyone finds it in the future, but let's be honest, that describes a suspicious amount of my world at this point. So, all the way across here. Problem's gone. And now we can fill in the extra blocks over here. Because this should be pathway. And these should be pathway as well. Can you build some kind of hideous stone farm? I would love to build a hideous stone farm. Honestly, I guess actually, you know, I already technically have a hideous stone farm, but it makes cobblestone, not regular stone. You'd have to make a lava water, but the other way around way to make a stone farm, right? Which is kind of a fun idea. So yeah, let's get some end stone and let's come back here. Let's fix this up. I think that now is the time to like probably clear these blocks under here, replace those with end stone. And then I'll also at the same time come back with enough end stone to make some stairs, some slabs. It looks like this corner is missing some end stone and the rest of this could do with a little bit more. So let's go give it a little bit more. It's a nice Xmas jumper, suits you, sir. Thank you. Look at where I got it from. Isn't it delightful? It's what all British people really want for Christmas. If you've ever heard Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas, she is lying. She knows that all anyone actually wants for Christmas is a Greggs sausage roll. If I update your Let's Play World My System, do I also get that scary hole through Bedrock? Yeah, you would have that no matter what the version is, though, Sarah. You know, do I say Sarah or is it Sarah? It's weird. My instinct says without the H, you pronounce the rest differently. But that doesn't make any actual sense, does it? Also, Greg's nice. In NI, they want Sentra shirts. I like Sentra quite a bit. I'm surprised that they would be on board of it in Northern Ireland. That's a sign of the changing times. Yesterday on the tube home. Small side note, by the way. Night tube. Oh, game changer. Getting a train at 1 AM. I know New York's had that forever. I know that's what, like, real first world countries have. But in London, we got it recently. Like, trains run overnight now. On Saturdays and Sundays. Or Fridays and Saturdays. But the downside is everyone on the tube at 2 AM is drunk. Gotta say. It really shows the impressiveness of the system that, like, more people aren't... Like, I actually, you know, I saw one person have a disastrous fall. But get a little medical attention for it. But the fact that, like, thousands of people moving on the underground, Night Tube, aka 1904 subway system, isn't it like Victoria and select ones? It's all the not subsurface. So if it's deep level, because if it's subsurface, it'd make a noise and residents would complain, because that's how we live our lives as a country here. But it's the Northern, the Jubilee, the Victoria, and the Central, maybe I want to say, and then some parts of the East London line. Yeah, you get a decent amount of tube going on there. At least in New York, only 75% are drunk, others are disturbed. But yeah, you know, actually, 75% drunk is really low. Yeah, what are the other? Are the other people just on it because they you know, they're like, I want to go for a train ride, and it happens to be 3 AM? I'm a little concerned for the logic that leads you onto the train at those hours. But yeah, curious. I don't have a favorite headset. I really like my Minecraft one by Razer. It's very basic. Get a better one. Wait, I'm not allowed to say that. I like my Razer one. If you like simple, it's simple and easy to set up. Did you check out the map mem book yet, Toycat? Says Jeff Shannon. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's really good, actually. It's they did a really good job at doing the whole we're making a book and then doing it in the tone of their YouTube channel. It's really impressive. So, OMG, all you need now is some little trainers to match the Dregs jumper. If you'll believe it, I have little socks. It's good stuff. I'm gonna go to sleep now. So, chat, my next big project, we have to do this. I want to work on a... Oh, what are you doing here? Oh, chat. Do you know why they're there? I know why they're there. Silly fella. I can't believe you did that to my World Dasher. Oh, I can't put it there. I have to put the 2 blocks back here and there. Okay, so let's go check on our bamboo supplies. It looks like our farm has stopped running. That is a crazy never happens moment, that's for sure. So let's check that bottom chest. If we can. Looks like we can. I'll do it. Just gotta... Ah! There we go. It looks like it stopped running very early on. That's totally fine. Read the silo books or you're a scrub. Yeah, I think, I think this is one of the... This is one of the curses of the concept of busyness. Right now, I am like, oh yeah, I am busy. Lots of non-essential activities I'm putting on the back burner because I'm busy. But it's actually like, well, even when you're busy, I have a little bit of time where I could be reading the book. But I'm saying, yeah, with my slightly more limited free time, I would rather do things that are not really that book. And isn't that sad? Or is that good? Should I be reading, like, should I be doing things that are more like self-improvement directly? You know, like, is going for a run more important than reading a book? Yeah. Is meeting up with friends more important than reading a book? Yeah. Is watching a TV show more important than reading a book? It's tricky. What if you like the TV show? I've been playing some Trackmania Turbo in my off time too. I think you could certainly argue that's less important than reading a book. So yeah, chat, this is my cobblestone generator. If I just made the lava and water flow the other way around, I'd be able to make it a stone generator. But sadly, I am terrible. Use allies to gather your bamboo. Yeah, KMB had this idea. I think I quite like it too. Also, it's good to see you, Robot Slaver. You have the name Robot in your name, so lots of people got suspicious of you. What if the TV show is based on a book? Yeah, at that point, it might be more efficient to read a book and watch the TV show at the same time, and then also play the video game. That way you can simulate all the parts of your brain. As long as the video game is also based on a book. See, it's a funny thing, like, we talk about, like, certain... I think, I'm such a devil's advocate that I even, like, take the idea that, like, you know, scrolling social media for an hour and a half is bad based on what you allow into your algorithm. But if you think about it, what if the... Yeah, but yeah, chat, I'm just gonna level with you right now. Because of yesterday, I'm feeling very, like... I'm just having moments of, like, yeah, I'm not okay. I need to be laying down. It's an interesting, like, it's like being sick a little bit, where you're like, you only realize you're at peak performance when you're not at peak performance, you know? You only realize that you're not functioning. You never feel super functional, but like right now I'm like tired from not sleeping enough. My stomach isn't happy with the alcoholic milkshakes I had yesterday. It's a fun combination, by the way. I also had the world's best onion rings. You know the ones. You know the ones, chat. But yeah, it's been a good day. But I'm very much like, oh, don't know I can do this. You've streamed, go sleep. Nah, I'm gonna make it through. Polly, I'm not being punched in the face repeatedly, and that is something. So yeah, chat. I want to build. Do you see my stable over here? I think I want to build extra stables, but for, you know, I want to build stables, but for like water mobs. Yeah, sometimes like coming up with that thought, I was like, I think my brain is shutting down. But it's I think that's natural. I'm also super tired. Worked nights last night and only got 4 hours sleep, and I work again tonight. Whatever adaptation all at once for maximum efficiency. So, okay, how did the add-on creation system work out for you? And are you satisfied with marketplace you put out, stuff you put out there? So the Axie, I'm really satisfied with Ultra Flat Survival, the Let's Play World, and Boss Blitz. I think that's I think if you want the realest answer I could give, the most introspective, it's I like those things. Those are things I'm glad I put in the world. I think Timeless Adventures, it's not me. I'm publishing and promoting that. I think that's something I'm really happy with. I made the structures for that, and I'm happy with how that added to the, you know, the feeling different in the world. Yeah, I think it's really hard to create and not hate what you make. It's really hard not to. It's almost like a problem if you don't hate something about what you made. It's a sign that you haven't properly thought about it sometimes. Okay, so chat, well, here's an idea. What if I built the back of this stables like a little bit that way, and then it goes like straight into the water? Or should it be that there's a whole different stable for it? I mean, if I had my Happy Ghast here, then clearly it's one stable for all the mobs. Yeah, I think it is one stable for all mounts. So the second stable should also be here somewhere. Yeah, I think the second stable should be here somewhere. Should we make it have the same wood? Should we use warp wood? I recently got my hands on a bunch of warp wood. Don't feel any pressure to finish the books, by the way. I was just poking at you. Oh, I'm going to read the books now, Dasher. Screw you. You can't tell me I have no pressure. I'm feeling all the pressure in the world. I'm stables for things other than horses? So you mean a zoo? So is it not a zoo if you only have horses at your stables? That feels like a broken system. That doesn't feel reasonable. Yeah, I think what I think what I want to do is I want to take the back of the stable, maybe have a bit of space back here, or maybe not have a bit of space. Yeah, I think have a row of space like as wide as one of the stables, so like just to help you picture what I'm imagining, like here, here, and are these 5 by 5? Logically, they must be, right? 5 is a, yeah, 5 blocks wide. And then we'll have, like, our next stable start here. And this one, instead of, like, sloping upwards, it'll slope downwards into the ocean. Maybe. You know what most frustrating me was making the MOM update world? When you ride a mount, there's some delay between them turning and when you move their camera. Makes it so hard to move. Oh. I think that's an example of a bug I don't think I can describe very well. You've said screw you, Dasher, so many times now, it amuses me. You're great, Dasher. You're wonderful, and I'm sure those around you are lucky to have you in your life. Yeah, how's that for you? Bet you're feeling sad now. Build a stable out of sand on a torch, unstable. I think that is a beautiful idea, Pariah Carey. No, it wouldn't be out of sand then. It'd be out of light blue concrete powder. Yeah, that's a really silly idea. I really like that idea. I'll use warp wood for this, and then I'll get a bunch of concrete powder for the roof, and it'll be an unstable. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Let's do it. I might need to go to the Nether to get the horse rit. Try riding a horse, and you'll see what I mean. Yeah, I'll give it a try. I'll give it a try, KMB. Let's see how this works for me. So, here is a horse. Oh, okay, this is the wrong type of horse. Wrong type of horse again. Oh, I do know what you mean with that, yeah. You can, like, yeah, I actually do see this, like. The turning circle, in other words, is kind of rough. So, okay, chat. I realized I watch your stream so much, the hotbar's burned into the TV. I was looking at today, confused that it looks like Minecraft. It all makes sense. Oh, I've seen that, actually. Oh, it's Minecraft. I need to move the hotbar around is what I'm learning from this. Also, chat, if you watch these streams a lot, or you watch Minecraft videos a lot, make sure that you you regularly refresh the pixels on your TV. If you have an OLED or a plasma, they can burn in. Pro tip. Wish Chantal had known that, you know, prior to burning in her TV, it sounds like. So what was your favorite Minecraft update? It says Bitter McBlade. My favorite Minecraft update ever? It's a good question to ask now that we're, like, at the end of the system, right? Also, the fastest way to get from here to my house, let me show you the magic, chat. You go into the Nether, you let it lag a little bit, and then it lags a bit on the way out. Yeah, are you proud of the ultra hard die collection maps? Because the sandwich is one of the greatest things the channel has produced. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. I was really happy of ultra. Okay, you know, this is a. I have a bug inside of me that is really good for capitalism and really bad for, you know. Oh, yeah, actually. It's good for everyone else in the world and bad for me, I guess, is, you know, let's not make it about money. Because I think that the number of people who downloaded and enjoyed Hexed was low enough that it made me realize that this was not as good a piece of work as other things that came before it. It could be that it's just not a good piece of work and that no one cared enough to click it, or that, you know, we can blame lots of things for this. I have this many warp planks, chat. I think I'm going to need more than that if I want to. Yeah, we're going to the Nether. Let's go to the Nether. And then let's make some light blue dye after. We'll even get some coral involved. If I've got some hanging around here anyway, I might as well use it, right? Wait, did half a door just close then? You saw half a door close? Nah, definitely not. Bitter McBlade, wow, you didn't answer my question. Bitter McBlade, what was your favorite? Oh, faker. It's because you spelt it wrong. You got to ask it again, but with correct spelling. And by correct spelling, I do mean not just no typos, I mean British spelling too. By the way, that lag you get when switching dimensions is so weird to me. I've never once experienced it. It must be something about your system. I do believe can be. It's something to do with recording. Oh, actually, although you stream, right? So you've never had it even while streaming? That is weird. Yeah, it is just one of the facts of life is that you're gonna have some bugs sometimes that no one has encountered. I guess, apparently. So, no wonder he doesn't read my messages. Have you seen the state of mine? Says person with the worst state of messages. I don't think you've ever written a messy message, Xavier. I think you've all, I think I'm a bit old school in that I kind of like, I get what you're writing if you get it wrong, but I do appreciate when you get it right. It's a sign that like, oh yeah, you thought this was worth reading as well as me. This wasn't something that you're like, ha, I can trick Toycat into reading this. I get the never transition lag all the time. Okay, that's validating that it's not just me. Xavier thinks you should buy me a new TV. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, Chantal, do you want a new TV? You don't read chat enough. You know, I'm gonna pretend I didn't read that. So yeah, let's we probably should just get in a boat. I don't know why I have a boat away if I'm not gonna use it. But it's fine. Also, fave you right. Yeah, fave you right indeed. That is exactly how you describe the British spelling. It's just correct that way, okay? But yeah, I met with some really old friends and it was good, chat. Oh, look at me zooming. I met up with some old friends and it was really good. I had a very social yesterday, and that's why it was good that I wasn't streaming. I think it would have broken me to be streaming or to be, and I don't know, like it's if I spent every Saturday as hectic as yesterday, it'd be bad. But to have one of them is fine. To have one of those is fine. Also, is that a tree over there? No, it's not. It's Saltfire. So zooming right through here. We're going to a warp. Hey, we're going to a warp forest.
Chantal new TV fund.
Chantal new TV fund. Good news, Chantal. That new TV will be there in no time. So this is a crimson forest. I'm pretty sure I needed a warp forest, chat. Did I follow the ice wrong? Did I turn too early? Yeah, why does it just end all of a sudden? Oh, look at this fortress, chat. What happened here? What happened here? This is... Okay, I think I've been through here before, though. And after a certain point, you just cut across, diagonally down, and then a little bit left. And then I was sure there was a warp forest here. Ah, no. Okay, I'm dead. No! Okay. That damn... The what is it even called? The crimson vines? The hanging vines? They screwed me. I tried swimming, I tried flying, and it just was not working. I think I was like firing fireworks on something. That's why flying is dumb. Pro tip, don't fly. You know, it's bad for the environment or something. So once my fire resistance runs out, I have to be very cautious. So which is a good sign I should fly now. And not get that close to the Nether. Chat, I had a warp forest and I built a whole ice pathway out to it. And all I can find is this type of tree. Am I crazy? I should not. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I'm not crazy. Okay. Where's your strider? That would have been the solution to that problem, that is for sure. Get me a good slider. New totem? Yeah, I don't like getting new totems. It's a silly, painful process. But I do already need to, because I want to test if I can get a pillager raid going on with my, you know, my little farm in the ground by my house. So I might as well give it like a try. You could monetize it and get public support, seeing how generous you are, buying my moderator and new TV. You know, I've got to say, the only way it works, Chantal, is if you change your name to Charity. And then I can buy a new TV for charity. I think that's the closest we're getting for public support on this one. Also, Chantal is so dedicated watching the streams, her TV is broken as a result. You can only fly in lava or water in Java Edition. So, which of those do you think I was not in? Or was in? I'm fascinated, Nicholas Fideau. Also, yeah, I played early versions of Minecraft Pocket Edition. I played 0.1 when it came out. I remember thinking, like, they've missed the game part of this. It's kind of funny because early Minecraft, like, it's kind of like right now, Minecraft has very light RPG elements in it. And there are people like me who are big proponents of more RPG elements. And there are people who say the RPG elements in the game kind of ruin it. They want it to be a sandbox first and only. And it's interesting because, you know, if you remove enough of the RPG elements to me, Minecraft doesn't become fun anymore. And in a similar vein, playing Minecraft without survival mode, it's like, so what's the point? What are we doing here? What is the... it's basically like playing Paint. Like, Paint is fun. I load up Paint a few times a week. But, like, I'm never playing Paint. I'm never, like, can't wait to put a couple of hours into Paint. It's just not a thing that I say. Chantal needs our help. So, do you say leisure as leisure, or do you say leisurely like leisure or like leisure? Bitter McBlade, I'm sorry, but that question was too deep for me. So yeah, I don't actually need that much warp logs, but I'll get a bunch for the future anyway. Might as well mess this place up. If I destroyed a totem to come here. In the way I think Minecraft succeeds pretty well as a game for different types of players, if it doesn't have enough for everyone, but it at least has something for everyone. Yeah, when I was in school, I was convinced the genius game idea would be the everything game. Like, I just played a, it was called Project Gotham Racing. I played a game, I played a lot of games when I was, I play a lot of games, chat. Video games are one of my favorite forms of art. But I played a game called Project Gotham Racing, and it was a racing game first and foremost. They wanted to make a racing game, so they made one. But the same studio had worked on a kind of like 2D, kind of like old like 80s Atari style game. I think it was called Geometry Wars. I hope I'm not wrong about that. But if you know Geometry Wars, not Geometry Dash, but Geometry Wars, it was a very, very popular game when it came out. And so when they made their racing game, they're like, what if we just made it so you could play our other game inside of this game? And I was like, whoa. This is a racing game, but it's also a crazy cool arcade game. And sometimes you play like a Grand Theft Auto where it's a car game. It's a, it's a mission-based story game. It's a multiplayer. You know, there's so many different types of game that it is. I was convinced that someone would come up with the idea. You just develop an everything game. You hire 10 people to make a fighting game. You hire 10 people to make a racing game. 10 people to make a shooter. And you make it all the same game. It sounds as absurd as saying, like, what if there was an everything movie? What if it was a comedy, a drama, what if it was everything? And you can kind of do that, but there's a funny thing that, like, eventually the jack of all trades is the master of none. It sounds like you should do everything, but really you should do something very well. I guess to simplify that even more. Also, was there a time you almost quit Bedrock because of a certain feature or bug? Why would a certain feature make me quit? A certain bug? Yeah, totally get that. But a certain feature? Yeah, I played so much. You can probably fact check this, right? The Bedrock bugs were discovered at the end of October. I have my play history. Oh my god, just leave me alone. I'm trying to make a point here, Mr. Hoglin. I have my play history on this world public. This is where I play most of my days outside of my creative world, which is on a separate thing. But if you look, you have to be very careful about this. If we look in here, you can see, so I've played my realm Sunday, Friday, Thursday, Tuesday. So 4 days this week. And I played it 5 days last week. 4 days the week before. 4 days the week before. Oh, it stops. No. So this is when I started playing it again. But there was 2 weeks where I was like, oh, no Minecraft for me, I guess. I still made videos and stuff. Like I had to load up different platforms and play it in weird ways. I think that's the closest to a dramatic quit in recent times. If the game becomes unplayable, then I have to quit it. Thankfully, they fixed it for a while. I quit Bedrock for a while because the updated project corrupted my Xbox 360 imported world, but it did later lead to creating the long-term world I play to this day. You know, that's a happy ending, KMB. You love to hear it. You love to hear it. So chat, if I fall in this lava, I will die. And I will lose everything that I have, including multiple shulker boxes. So it's a scary time to be in the nether. We're gonna go back this way. Yeah, getting around the nether is tricky, to say the least. You need to like really know the... Oh, no! You need to really know the terrain, and you need to really avoid making big mistakes. Whew. Yeah, let's not do that one again. So up this way looks good to me. And then through this way. Yeah, life is working. Hi, BXSoCat, glad you're working on this project. Your video, Bedrock is not a well-designed game. Inspired me to write a petition for more accessibility options. Mojang won't listen though. So, I'm really impressed. I want, again, the most important thing that I can do on my channel is to be a voice of reason, not a voice of hate. So even though I put that whole video together and it represents just the easiest to talk about areas of frustration I have with Bedrock, a lot of things had to be left on the side for that, right? But I put that video together. But even though I say that, and even though it's really important, I'm glad that... Oh, no, okay, we're fine. So I put the whole video together, but at the same time, I do want to give Mojang a bit of credit for adding subtitles. They say they've done it, but they haven't done it yet. Next week, we're going to get subtitles, it seems. That's exciting. It's such a crazy thing. Like, how do they not add it to the game? How do they, like, think that they've added it without adding it? Like, you know, there's a question of responsibility on the Bedrock team that I just do not understand. But yeah, so and then the zombie horse is a good piece of parity. And yeah, no hatred at all. I only heard passion. Yeah, I'm glad you got that, Brie Ostrinina. Yeah, I'm a big believer in, if there's going to be parity, accessibility should be first. Like, you can't claim that you think parity is important if subtitles are down here in your list, while removing adolescent horses is up here, right? But they're adding subtitles. It's the most important parity feature. And it happened also, I forget about the compressed ice, such a silly. It's a weird thing because I think, so this is where compressed ice would go, right? Yeah, perfect. Then let's just put a boat out so it's ready to go. For the next time I want to do this. There we go. Life is good. So this is enough warped stem for my build, and then enough for later, and then other stuff too. I always am full of hate for the parity team, but it's not a parity team, right? There's a team of... The internal structure at Mojang is a confusing one. Java needs bone mealable sugarcane. I think Java got bone mealable sugarcane, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I am mistaken, but I do think that's a thing. Also, yeah, chat. I'm gonna need to take a little minute break here. My insides, I think they need the break. So. Let's take a little just peek at the thing over here. Isn't it so beautiful? Java still does not have the bone meal sugarcane. Oh, that's interesting. We'll just take a little moment. You can look over here. Or does it look better that way? No, it looks better this way. Let's just enjoy the view. Be right back. Chair stream.
IBX tour chairs, yes.
Thank you to... Oh. Thank you Wow. Free tips for the chair. How does the chair get better tips than me, chat? Is this a... There's only one way I can take these market signals. Chat a subscriber. Chat a subscriber. You think you... this is... Thank you for saying the toy chair is yes. Thank you for the chair tip. And indeed, David, loving it too. Okay, so... Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? I'm a little, I'm feeling okay, thank you for asking. I am a little bit... I think just a little bit, like... a little bit everything's like... Oh, I'm a sim, and all of my meters are a little low right now. And, you know, part of me wants to be, like, self-critical. Because I had slightly bigger plans for I was going to have finished recording by the end of today. Who's this guy butting into the chess stream? My apologies. Do I have a shroomlight pile in here? Where do I keep my shroomlights, chat? Do I not have a dedicated shroomlight place? I do not. What am I meant to do with these? I'll just put it... I'll put this in the where the guy in the walls lives. It would be a nice spot for it. Or maybe up there. But just, if we put this in there... Yeah, we'll just put that, like, up there. And now the man in my walls can be safe forever. Oh, yeah, I'm not even a cardboard cat of a mod, but there does seem to be a spamming problem going on in chat. Oh, there is? Oh, I've got top chat on. Let's turn on live chat. Oh, it's the same chat. You need to have an honest conversation with your chair on the financial situation. Yeah, we're gonna work out what split of the tips I get versus the chair. Like, obviously he's entitled to a hefty % of those tips that he gets. Why be self-critical when we can criticize you honestly? That's a good point. I won't be self-critical. I will never criticize anything I do ever again because I am perfect. Oh, thank God we got that sorted and out of the way. Yeah, I'm excited to make the unstable chat. People were chatting spamming pre-stream already. Yeah, it's one of those weird things that some people have an instinct of doing, huh? Okay, let's grab a bunch of sand out of this and then place a bunch of that sand back in here. And then a bunch more sand, let's just say 2 stacks. And then that should make enough... Hopefully that'll make enough concrete powder that we need for a good while. Then we'll put a cobblestone away in here. Oh, there's no space for it. Away in... Oh, this... I need to go take a whole stack of this cobblestone just to make sure that I can dump some in there later. Then we'll drop those on the ground. And now we just need to go get some blue dye. I just did an ominous trial chamber run without any mending on my gear, and it was brutal. My helmet and boots broke. Crazy how much durability matters about mending. Yeah, the trial chambers are a classic example of a place where you will get your armor wrecked to pieces if you're not thinking about it. So let's just do a quick little sheep shearing run, chat. Do I need to? Maybe not. Am I going to? Definitely yes. I think the orange wool in particular is something I'm very short on. I do want my metro map to be bigger and beautiful and better. Toy cat, but there's no stream or cat. Let's do it. You know, people love AFK Minecraft so much. Why don't we just do a whole stream of AFK Minecraft and I'll be AFK for it? This is a flawless idea that cannot go wrong. Sounds like a great way to solve my problems with Saturday streaming. Or even get an extra day off during. You know, it's a high quality idea. Oh man, those sheep seem like some kind of phantasms. They are definitely not whatever that is. Okay, so blue dye, chat. We need to go long distance looking for some blue dye. Light blue dye in particular, right? I mean, I picture that I would want light blue dye. What color even is a Nautilus? It doesn't matter. I'm going for light blue dye anyway. Let's go across the world and get some. And then we also need string, because we are going to have to We need string because we need to keep the stuff in the air. The transparent sheep make me uncomfortable. Yeah. Gonna be honest, I like it when my sheep lie to me too, Ad and Sony. I just can't handle knowing about their situation. So okay, how'd you keep the forever world going this long? I want to make a joke in response, but I'll get in trouble. So I'm just really artistic, I guess. Yeah, no, I think the real answer is I love the concept of making a world that you are continually working in and changing. I don't see the appeal of making a new world every time, because if I wanted to do something so different, I could build it in this world. I don't really feel the vibes of a giant melon house anymore, but I like that I can still have my giant melon house, and that it's not trapped on a world from 16 million days ago. The only things that I can't change about it are like the biomes, but in its own way, that is a limitation, which is a good thing. If I was a mod, I'd ban you for that joke, says Ad and Sony. You know, Ad and Sony, you said you were the bad type of artistic, and does that mean that if your paintings aren't successful, you're gonna go on a killing spree of Central Eastern Europe? Anyway, a man at my local farmer market stall commended me on being able to always find them. I don't have the heart to say if I'm autistic AF, and that's the reason for it. I feel like I've been watching a bunch of your Let's Plays while building. I love often you just talk about philosophical ideas and use Minecraft as a way to convey them. Yeah, I'm glad you like that. I have a lot of fun with it. Sometimes I really do sit there thinking to myself, like, does anyone else want this? Am I just having fun and hoping that someone else comes and looks at it? It sure seems like that. So getting a comment like yours, Donnie, makes me feel like maybe people do want it. That's good. So yeah, I think that I don't think a lot. Let's do it. Let's. I'm gonna use today as my opportunity to do the. I had a real moment where it hit me perfectly yesterday, chat, where I was like, I don't have the words. I'm just not gonna finish. I'm not gonna make my fort right now. It's a good time for it, but I'll let someone else make theirs instead. And I was like, oh yeah, if I did that on stream, I'd make way more sense. People would be really impressed with my ability to make points if I actually made them. So let's take 2 stacks of blue orchids. I don't need to make new ones yet, but I should start considering it. And let's now turn those blue orchids into... Is this light blue? Yeah, this is light blue dye. So light blue dye makes a light blue concrete powder. Oh, we're making so much light blue concrete powder. Oh, I don't need a whole stack of this at all then. Yeah, 1 concrete powder makes a whole trillion of these. We go back in here. It doesn't make any sense that 1 dye gets you 8 concrete powder or 1 wool. But it's fine. I'll just put that in there. I got the wrong thing out, but that's chill. Okay, let's go. Back across the world. Also, the Mexican bus story was great, says Cove the Jedi. Thank you. It is fun that you go long enough without telling a terrible story and people don't know it anymore. It is one of the few joys of the Forgotten Principle, is you get to tell your favorite stories again and again. Yeah, you know, I have a lot of silly favorite stories, and I'm glad I get to tell them. So, yeah, Wendy's has the money to advertise on YouTube. Dang. I don't have an intelligent addition to that comment. Not like, yeah, I don't have a, I won't be, my addition to that would be to say, like, well, Wendy's advertises in a lot more expensive places than YouTube. YouTube is pay per impression, so YouTube gave me like $500 of free advertising once. They did it without me asking, actually. Like, they set up the ads and everything because they figured that maybe once I had $500, I'd want to put my own money in. Did not. I cannot believe that people do. But yeah, internet advertising is really good because they let you scale from any amount. That's why a lot of people like it. And so it's like, it's actually, you know, if you see an ad on TV, the minimum spend there is high. You see an ad on the internet, could be someone with $8. You could have been one of the lucky 1,000 people who see it. Anyway, talk about bin burning. Okay, you know, see, that's one of my favorite stories I can tell again. Again, chat, I feel bad about this one a lot. But when I was 15, I remember hanging out with one of my friends, and like one of my this guy mentions, he's like, have you met Jordan before? Jordan's such a lovely guy. He's like the nicest guy you'll ever meet. He just has a bit of a problem with burning bins. Like, the bin burning is something that I think is a whole problem. But like, besides that, super nice guy. He's just so sweet. And then I speak to someone else, and they're like, oh, Jordan, man, I hung out with him yesterday. He's so nice. He's such a great guy. I hope we keep being friends with him. And it's rare that people have such a you know, it's rare that people are so nice about someone when you're 16. But it's like, wow, this guy has made an impression. That's good. So so chat, I then later find out that same evening, or maybe it was the next time we met, but very shortly after this happened, it was exciting to learn. I think this would look better if I stripped it. Yeah, weirdly, I think stripped is the way to go on this. But I had the very exciting update, chat, that I was going to get to meet the Jordan himself. And true to form, he lived above a pub. We met him near the pub. And he was just a really nice person. He'd mastered the art of being, you know, like being nice, being friendly, being all the sorts of things, even to people he just met. And I was like, that's great. So we have a few bevies with him. We have a good little time. And then, I swear to God, like 2 drinks in, he's like, you know what, guys? I think we should burn a bin. And the one friend is like, no, we're not burning a bin. And I'm like, yeah, let's hear this guy out. This guy is friendly and fun. Let's go and burn a bin together. And so I do not approve of these methods, but we may have found a rubbish disposal device. May have you know, requisitioned it for the cause. It was filled with paper, so it was perfectly primed, and then lit it on fire and put it in a river and watched the, you know, the amount of environmental damage I did in that story as a teenager, ridiculously high. Got to be clear about that. The amount of you know, yobbishness on display, incredibly high, but the memories. Also, 2 drinks unlocks the burning bin part of Jordan. Yeah, he just he has this thing inside of him that he needs to let out every now and then, and you know, thank God that he found a way. So yeah, it's funny because, yeah, like stories like that make you realize that, like, yeah, some number of people just kind of are like semi-cartoon characters. You know, there's the guy who just loves burning bins that much, and he's just a real type of person like the rest of us. See, I'm going to build a big one of these across the entire thing. It looks like it should be a block higher up based on that. Like, that doesn't connect here correctly. But then it never could. Oh, because this is like a layer further back. But if I'm going a layer further back, then I'll have it be string being held up. Or I'll have, like, blocks held up by string. Again, the vibe here, chat, is the unstable stable. So I am working with this. It's gonna be good. So make a bunch of these. You know, I think I want to strip these. Yeah, I think I want to strip these logs, chat. So let's strip, 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 strip. I have to turn off my music for this little. I'll use it for a little montage later or something. So we'll turn the music down to not very much, and then we'll do some more. Yeah, satisfying. Oh, so we got 3 pillars now, and we can use those to make our stuff good. I think we definitely want to have concrete that floats. I don't think we should have too many of these slabs. Maybe the slabs should only be in between the pillars, so like the outside, and the inside should all be light blue concrete powder. Let's find out if that works by stacking up a bunch just over here. So 5 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gets me here. This gets me into the sea, which is, I guess that's fine. Yeah, that's probably good. Like we'll bring the ocean into each of these bays, and that'll be good. This is what I was diagnosed with. This is what I was diagnosed with a while back, says Christmas. The more drinks I have, the more I feel like setting fires to pins. You know, I wonder what they call that in the DSM. Is it like, well, you got a chronic bin burning disorder. But you know, the best we can do for you is give you 1 bin a week and try to keep you off the sauce. Yeah, that looks... Also, I think I was trying specifically to get up there. Is this a warp version of the stable? Yeah, it's the unstable. That is the idea. That is the vibe. And it's going just about fine so far. So here's the plan. We take light blue concrete powder. And we step on it. And we place string and concrete and string and concrete and string and concrete. And then, yeah, we're gonna hopefully have some stuff. Also, ASPD, antisocial personality disorder. I do think there is a certain amount of like... I think about this a lot, but there are some parts of like every human that just seem entirely incompatible with having a society. And the fact that many of us have it inside of us to be like, yeah, I think watching something burn right now would be good. I think that's like a scary human thing to just have. And I think what makes it more scary... Yeah, I guess the way we should do this is we should have like it go another block deep. But do I have enough warp stem? I do. Yeah, I could make a bunch of stacks. No, I think just 3 little things coming out here would be good. One for Nauts, one for zombie Nauts, one for coral Nauts. This doesn't look like a stone cube to me, says Orange Brian Smith. Hey, good to see you, Orange Brian Smith. How are you doing today? I love that you're orange after all these years, by the way. Watching things burn is strangely satisfying. Yeah, it's one of the best. It's one of the best things you can do as a human, I might even say. There's something about fire that we just want to harness as a species. And how could we not want to? How could we not want to? Okay, so I have to actively avoid doing bad things and lying to others. The only reason I've learned not to is because it causes me more trouble. Sounds a little bit sociopathic. That you're like, yeah, the only way I learned not to hurt other people was because it started to hurt me. But like, it's also very like self-aware to know that you have that at least. To know that that's how you are. And that's how you incentivize yourself to not be that way. So, yeah, give yourself some credit. But not too much credit, otherwise you might do something a little antisocial as a result. Okay, so this block goes there, and then somewhere between there and there, we go up like this. So we're going to do that for each of these little rungs. Again, got to make sure we get the right number of these slabs in, but it'll be good. I've got a little stressed. Cambridge interview on Tuesday. Feels like I've come so far since first watching you, if I can be corny for a second. Yeah, be corny. That is crazy. That you're ending up going to Cambridge. That is some life you got going on there, man. Good. I will say, definitely don't stress about it. As silly advice as that is, because there's a lot of things you should stress about. But like your skills, you know, I heard a. Here's just an anecdote I heard recently. The anecdote was that you know, somewhere. I think it was one of the regions of France. Got rid of their. They got rid of their oral interview process for universities because they found that oral interview process was like unfairly. You know, it was like particularly doing poorly with a certain type of person who would have like a nervous breakdown about it and. And my instinct upon reading it was like, Yeah, that does seem a bit unfair. Like, I feel like just because I can't do it, you know, it's just because you're bad at it. But then it was like, the defense was, well, a lot of people who would show up for the interviews would just start crying and not be able to give anything out. And it's like, yeah, selecting to not have that actually makes sense when you say it like that. And so, you know, because, you know, if the goal of university is to prove you are competent in a skill such that you may be hired one day to perform a skill on a commercial basis, it probably is important that you can do the commercial skill. Also, I don't want to use string for all of it. I think I'll use torches for these corners here. Yeah, it'll make it look a little bit fancier too, I think. So we'll put a torch there, a torch here, and then a torch over there, and then a bunch of string, and then a bunch of this attached to the string. This is a weird design we're going for, chat, but I really am winging it and hoping for the best. Hope this goes well. What are some new things you're going to add to your Forever World when the drop rolls out? I'm looking forward to maybe build... if I like the Nautilus, I want to build some like infrastructure for it. I love me some infrastructure. You know my infrastructure nerdery. So I think it would be fun to do something with that. Since you're a right-wing capitalist, Toycat, do you hate libraries? Just curious. I think one of the most interesting successes... isn't it fascinating that you can sell books while also saying, by the way, there's a big source of free books? But yet a huge number of people go, yeah, but I'll buy the book anyway. That, to me, feels like something got broken along the way in a way that benefits society. That there is a lot of things that we can have for cheap that we want to have for expensive. And, like, I don't know, when I was younger, I used to buy pre-owned games, and I was sure that there was something wrong with them. Like, you know, market pricing indicates that if they were the same as more expensive games, they would be able to charge as much as more expensive games. And yet they do not. Ergo, games are broken in some way. So this looks pretty good. It's as good as we can get, at least. So we'll do the same over here. Place our string on the string. Then place some string over here. And then look at that over there. We probably should use soul torches, by the way, actually. If we're getting real tactical about this. I've given late freeze to my library. Honestly, I deserve a medal. I'm supporting them. Yeah, it could be, honestly, that libraries are more expensive for a certain type of person. I still have quite a few books from my middle school library. It doesn't exist anymore, so I hope I'm off the hook for that. I sometimes worry that, like, that could come back to bite me. But I think on the list of things that might come back to bite me, it's quite low. Yeah, I've been spending a lot of my life just trying things and seeing what really breaks and what is just we assume they will break. I think that's like an important thing to try every now and then. I keep forgetting to return books, even after countless reminders. Yeah, I think that emphatic, all libraries should be subscription-based. Oh, libraries are subscriptions-based. Like, the government is a subscription. You know how insane... If you think about it, right? Like, taxes aren't we will take your money once, we'll do some good things, and we won't come back until we need money again. Taxes are a subscription fee. Every time you get paid, we're getting our cut. If you don't get paid, we still want our cut, just to be clear. But... yeah, the very concept of a government is a subscription, and so even if it's done by your local government, not your national one, probably funded by like a yearly or monthly property tax or whatever, you are paying a subscription fee for your library, whether you use it or not. Okay, let's get down here, and let's start a building. I guess actually now is the time to then build this last block, if we need it anyway. And then place a torch on this side. Do we need them to be on the other side of this, actually, or is that the last one? I think, yeah, this is the last one. Place some string, and some string, and some string. And some of this, and this, and this. So yeah, now I'm not sure what to do with the middle of this, given it's got the, you know, also, I like the unstable, like, warp wood kind of, like, hits that in a second way. All the council tax for someone to piss outside my door. Sounds like you have some issues with your council. Do you think they'll stick with the 4 drops a year schedule, or change it up? So, honestly, KMB, I felt like the drop system would break Mojang this year. I think that they are so strict on, you know, like, things like hours worked, and I figured that the drop system would be incompatible with that, and that either drops would get massively delayed, or we would have filler drops. I think the Spring to Life drop is a filler drop, if I'm being honest. But a lot of people, even if it was, it still means that we got 3 major batches of content back to back, and all released on time. The Mounts of Mayhem drop is coming out early, you could argue. They could have released it next week. So it seems like it's really working for Mojang. And if it's working for them, then that's a good sign that they'll keep it going. Especially if it is, you know, like, proving to be even some amount successful for the wider community. Okay, so let's look at what we've got here and see what we need to add to it, chat. Yeah, I kind of like it in its current form. It clearly needs more. Like, some fences would be good. But I like what we've got going on here. So let's now strip these blocks. Give it a nice little stripping. Who doesn't love stripping some wood? Yeah, I think the strip version is much better for the vibe we're going for here. And then maybe we should just... Yeah, we got enough string. We've got enough gravel. We could just build the entire roof of this out of that. We could do a series of torches as well, but that would be a bit trickier. Yeah, like have a row of torches, then have the next... Yeah, that would have been... That might be a better way to do it, weirdly. Is if we now have our next row of these based on another row of torches. That would make it very unstable. Because then... Yeah, if we play... Yeah, I think it should be soul torches, though. How do you feel about that, chat? And then we'd have, like, a whole thing that could just fall down at any moment. It'd be beautiful. Also, you missed one? Oh, no. I did. You're right. Terrible. Can't believe I'd do that. So at the same time, we also need to think about the outside. I think we could arguably not think about the outside, but I will anyway. And then we also need to make the thing actually fit so it has water. I wish they could take more time with one drop, like a new structure or even supposed end update. Yeah, it's the eternal curse, right? The thing we want most is a really deep, well-considered piece of content. But as soon as we get it, then it's like, but now we want more. And the easiest way to deliver more is for it to be slightly less deep and well-considered. You could argue it's a bit of a paradox, even. But it is what we seem to want. See, I'll give one little test to my idea before I go much further. If we have, like, a series of torches here, obviously soul torches instead might be more thematic. Then we could have it, like... have it go like this, and then have, like, torches on that to have the top row. I kind of like this, chat. I think I really like this idea. And then it kind of leans into that unstable vibe, because all it would take to collapse this entire thing is a single torch. Because now if I, you know, remove that torch, multiple things fall down. Very unstable, you might say. See, I think we're gonna go get some. I think we're gonna go get some soul torches. Let's go do it. My library has manga. I met someone who was really into libraries recently. They were like, I pay council tax. I'm gonna go to every library in my borough to see which one is the best. And I was like, that's like, respect that actually. Like, if it is one of the... Weirdly, I even think like it's good for society. Like, people need to do that enough. Like, it's the same thing about how we were talking about, like, there's good content and there's bad content. Or rather, there's empty, you know, like empty calories or nutritious calories, but for content. There's stuff where you can finish it and feel like you've improved your life. And there's stuff where you can finish it and be like, that technically filled my time. That is the thing we can use. I don't care what type of system they do as long as the update does something that won't be forgotten about in 2 months. Yeah, the spring to life, again, this is the craziest thing. Who gives a... Who cares? Who thinks about that drop fondly? Will anyone be like in 10 years? Oh, thank God they added that. I think it's kind of like how when the update Aquatic started, the goal was like, let's fix up existing parts of the game. I think the drop system will eventually have run its course and people will be desperate for something bigger. And then that's the perfect time to come back for an end update. Like, if you get what I'm saying, like, I think that, you know, New Coke was a really clever marketing exercise in making people really, really want to have Coke again. So much so that some people would argue it was specifically put out there to fail. I don't agree with that. But if you have something that is... So I need soul sand to make my thing, by the way. But if you have something... Like, people love to have... people love to feel like they have wanted something and you have done it. And so a lot of really good listening is in making people ask the question that you can then answer. That's a lot of good presentation too. Isn't like asking an interesting question and then magically having an answer, but you had the answer because you asked the question in the right way. Spring to Life added good ambience. Mr. Cat, I've sent some thumbnail ideas for a new video. Would you be kind enough to check them out? Yeah, sure. Chat, do you want to... Okay. So, I kind of like both, actually. I think the second one is more traditional of my channel. I think the first one isn't traditional, and that's why it might do better. Yeah, they both look pretty good to me. Yeah, yeah, honestly, love it. Cough cough, caves and cliffs. Yeah, the cave update, everyone wanted it, and then I think after that, everything was broken for a bit, because then it's like, okay, now we're going to make updates we want again, and the community's like, no, we want an end update now! And Mojang's like, no, just so you know, we're making the... It's the struggle with listening too much, right? It's, I think it's an interesting one. I will export and send, thanks. Hey, awesome. So let's make a little bit more light blue concrete. I don't think we need much more. Then let's make our torches, but blue. I never use torches, but different colors, chat, so this will be fun. How many soul torches can I make? Oh, I made 2 stacks. That's too many. Works for me, though, I guess. And I'll keep a stack in here for another time. I've got soul sand in there already, actually. Could have just used that and made them on the fly if I'd have realized. But now I've got lots of torch colors, and I can make fun things of that at some point, I'm sure. Looking forward to it. I like ambience updates, sure, but I want something fun to do besides get cold chicken. Yeah, the copper drop really hit that spot for me. Where I was like, yeah, there's new copper tools that, like, you could use on the way up to iron. And that Mojang specifically, they gave a good reason why they shouldn't exist. But I guess, like, now they've changed their minds. Yay. And the Happy Ghast was like, yeah, it's gonna change building forever. I've jumped on a Happy Ghast. I've got 3 of them. I've jumped on one 0 times. But I use Pale Oak a bit. A surprising amount, actually. Yeah, kind of. That's the deal. I'm talking quietly now, chat. This is nice. Let's do a nice little quiet stream. I'll get a little closer to my microphone. I can be quiet, but you can still hear me nice and loudly. This is nice. My voice is gone through enough. So it's a good little moment to reconsider, reconnect, revalue. Yeah, this is good. This is the right volume level. So how are things going, internet? You get up to anything fun this week? I've told you about my story. Tell me about your story. Things going good? I hope they're going good. The Happy Ghast comes in clutch for moving villages. Yeah, that's true. I haven't moved villages across my world recently. Maybe I'd like it a lot more if I did. Maybe that's the missing ingredient for me. So what do we think of this, chat? Yeah, I like this a bit. Will you ever stream on Twitch again, Toycat? Says Ebs smoked. No. If they offered me a good deal, I would probably still turn it down. I have unhealthily committed to YouTube, but it does. They are at least trying to make themselves seem like that is a good idea. I feel like you're talking in my ear, and I don't want you to talk in my ear. Well, you see, Adam, Sony, there's no way to stop someone from talking in your ear. I guess, actually, you could move away. You shouldn't move away from this one, though. It's good that I'm talking in your ear. It's not often you get spoken to in your ear, so it's good that I'm here right now. Have a good little chat with you. Gets things moving in the right direction, I hope. Yeah, that's what we're doing now. You know, isn't it nice just to have someone say, things are good now. Everything's fine. It's anything you worried about, not a worry anymore. Life's gonna be good. The weekend's over, sure. There's gonna be more weekends. Christmas is coming soon. I'm excited for Christmas. That'll be nice. That'll be real nice. Okay. Let's give it a little peek. How has our building gone for us? Oh. It looks pretty decent, but like way too high. Yeah, for like the size we're going for, it looks stupidly high. So now we'll use the rest of these slabs to kind of build like fence equivalents. I think the easiest fence equivalent would be like this. And then like, wait, actually, let me do something extra silly. This is my idea for a fence. Yep, looks great. Looks great. And then we'll do the same over here. Stop in the middle, where I'll obviously... Okay, this is actually tricky to duplicate easily. Chat, has anyone watched the... anyone watched Formula 1? This is not Toy Cat anymore, this is ASMR Cat. I could fall asleep to Toy Cat ASMR. Yeah, me too. Me too. I really want to do a stream where I do stuff like a normal streamer. It's so uninstinctual for me. But it is a good way to get some stuff done in Minecraft. Yeah, it's got some value. Also, we have done something beautiful. And I hope that makes this all like fit a bit better. Not really. Yeah, not really perfectly. So now we'll break these blocks. And I would say the next thing to do, again, it's a little bit silly, but it adds to the vibe, is we'll separate each of our areas by placing a bunch of torches and then having concrete powder float on those two. Again, it's silly, I'll concede, but silly is what we are going for. It's meant to be very unstable, so having a bunch of things that destabilize it is good. Yeah, I think that looks good. So now the next step would be digging in some of the water and then maybe even like decorating this with some coral. I think that's fun. I do not want to go to sleep like that. I mean, you did take a bath on camera multiple times. Once with your girlfriend. That's pretty traditional streamer, right? Good point, Velo. Good point. No talking stream. I'm gonna do the AFK farm stream. It sounds like I'm joking. I assure you I'm not. I'm gonna sit there and just watch some very slow process happen. It's gonna be wonderful. The best and worst Minecraft suggestions video each year, always my favorite. I can't wait for those. I think this is the last year we're doing a worst suggestion video at KMB. So you can look forward to it, but only once. That's the rule. Anyway, chat, I had a great day today. I enjoyed the stream, but sadly, against my best wishes, I think I have hit my capacity before the stream. I'm grateful that all of you came here, and that some of you even tipped the chair as well. I have a very big, exciting announcement coming up this next week. But in the meantime, Tuesday is the Mounts of Mayhem day. I'm going to be streaming for a long time that day. Like, call it 6-7 hours, something like that. It's going to be a long stream to celebrate the Mounts of Mayhem. I used to upload videos on the day of the release. And I think that we have moved into a time where updates are... Or maybe this is my channel maturing. But I think it'd be fun to stream all day. See how it goes, you know? So, it's going to be a stream day. Hopefully a good stream day. And so tomorrow we'll do something else. And Streamless will continue. I'm glad. I will treasure each worst suggestions video. I'm looking forward to the best suggestion video this year. I haven't made it yet, but I am looking forward to it. I might actually make the stream then, if you're still streaming after I come back from work in the evening. It's possible at least. Thank you. Oh, I had a bunch of light blue concrete powder already. Thank you for coming along today. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, then make sure you subscribe. If you didn't, no one watches these who haven't subscribed. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you see me in the next one. I had a great day yesterday, and sadly, sometimes having a good enough day means you rob a little bit of joy from your next one. I'm gonna go curl up on the sofa, and I'm looking forward to the Let's Play tomorrow. And you should as well if you enjoyed this stream. Yeah, it'll be fun. Okay, goodbye. Oh, the microphone's so close to me. Thank you for watching. This has been the Toy Cat Streamer series. And you can catch me starting